all employees, they want to be treated with trust and respect. One of the main reasons people leave is because they don't feel appreciated. There's no kindness, there's no collaboration. So I'll tell you one company that includes T.R.I.C in everything, and this is an important example for everyone to know because this company did very well. Google. Google takes really good care of their employees. If you're hired, you get food, you medical care. They help you with if you want to learn something new. If you don't like what you're doing in your job, they give you an opportunity to look around the company, see if there's something else you want to do. They treat their employees really well, which is why Google succeeded the way it did. We want more companies to include T.R.I.C.
What is it that great leaders have in common? That's a question that I asked myself when I was an early manager. I would look to these experienced leaders and wonder, what is it that makes them effective? And I will say that there is one thing that all great leaders have in common, and that is that people follow them. That's the definition of leadership. But the question now is, why do people follow great leaders? Now, sometimes it's because you have to. You're working there and you have to, but not always. More often and more importantly, it's because they want to. And that's what we want to think about is, what is it that makes people follow leaders? Maybe you think these leaders all have some magical quality, that it's charisma, it's executive presence. When I was young, I thought it was something like this, and it was something that I didn't have. But maybe you think it's because they're tall, they have a deep voice, they have a degree from a well-known university, that they're male, that they're white. Those are all advantages in our world, some unfortunately. But no, that's not it. I know you can think of counterexample, effective, well-respected leaders who don't fit these stereotypes. So why do people follow great leaders? Well, most great leaders do indeed have a magical superpower, and I'm going to tell you right now what it is. And that is, they are 100% clear about their mission. They make sure that everyone knows who they are and why they are here. Think about your great leaders again and ask yourself what they stood for. What was their mission? What got them up in the morning and lit up their life? And I'll bet you know, because they made sure everyone knows. It's easy to follow someone when their identity is authentic and clear. This is their brand, their authentic identity, their why.
Two parts question. Is leadership going to change? And what's leadership training going to be like in the future?
Leaders are now going to have to rely on AI. They're going to have to apply more people skills on top of the AI, right? Otherwise, you're going to be completely replaced by AI. If you're mechanical and you don't care about the emotional needs of your employees, and if you don't show leadership by being ethical and responsible, like Mark Benioff, for example, he's my leader. You can never replace him with AI because he's got values and he's got ethics and he has a philosophy on how to run the company. And I would follow him because of those human aspects, right? The way he acts and the way he demonstrates leadership.
I believe being a leader is to be given the opportunity to serve. And similar to what Charlie said about data, I believe that would be a good idea to leverage AI for what it's really good at right now. For example, in the context of being able to analyze data and help us with some insights that we don't have to spend too much time working on. So that way, as a leader, I can focus on more of a human-centered approach where I can bring in things like empathy and actually helping people to live up to their potential and do the things that AI is not able to. But I would do this by using AI as my co-pilot in the literal sense. So it's my companion. If I want to be able to help people to grow in a certain direction, I can always point them to resources and encourage them to use AI to build out a learning plan for them, for example. That way, we're leveraging the best of what AI is providing for us right now. And with time, we grow and we navigate it as it comes and take on the new things that it offers.
In terms of changing the leadership and leaders with AI, I think decision making, who currently in a big corporate is done by very senior management and committees, will go down to more middle junior level and even workers being able to do data-driven decisions, having the insights and all this data wisdom. More junior level will be empowered to make these decisions, and leaders have to adapt to it. And in terms of leadership training, maybe 6 months ago, I saw a platform. You just say, I need training for this, soft skills. You click a button, and then you have a fully blown training, including the outline, the whole materials, and video delivered by avatar, including exercises and engagement. I think leadership training will change, but what will be human driven will be this experiential learning, where people can exercise building connection, building empathy to other human beings.
As a leader, you need to worry about your brand and your organization's brand, because brand, more than anything else, defines your value in the marketplace. I'm going to say that again. Your brand, more than anything else, sets your value. If you don't believe that, consider this. Which is better? Fiji water, which costs $2 a bottle, Dasani water, a Coca-Cola product, at a $1 a bottle, or Costco's Kirkland water, which you can get for less than a quarter, less than 25 cents a bottle. It's all just water. And yet somehow Fiji gets people to pay 8 times as much because of the power of their brand. So to build a brand, we need some building blocks. Like all brands, your brand is built on some fundamentals. These are the same elements that I use when branding companies, products, and services, and they work for individuals as well. A brand is built on core values, which is who you are, a mission, which is what you're doing, and a vision, which is what you will be doing over time. Now, for products, we express these elements in a brand definition, and for a leadership brand, we reduce them to the simplest form, which is the elevator pitch, and that is your destination. That's where we're going.
When you're looking back on your career as of today, is there something that you wish you had done differently as an entrepreneur? And Maayan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I wish I would have started learning as a part of my entrepreneurial development in business earlier. I was learning through doing, but I wasn't taking additional time. Kind of like Victoria was saying, there's skill development in any business that you go into. And for me, the skill development that I really needed was understanding budgeting and finances and things that I'm not as passionate about. And I kind of had this idea, as long as I'm making enough money to pay my bills, what do I need to create, a budget or understand forecasting for? As I was scaling, I realized I hadn't built in enough margins, and there were all of these other issues that popped up. And so, if I could go back and do it again, like I'm very happy for all the mistakes that I made because I learned valuable lessons, but I would have preemptively started structured learning in areas that I, really didn't have a base of knowledge in.
One of my friends was my accountability partner. So I had to send in a daily report. What's the income? What's the expense? To know if you're actually even making any significant money, because it was like money is coming in, but is it really coming in? Is it the kind of margin you're looking at? Those were some of the issues that I look back at now and be like, okay, we could have done better. Also, in terms of marketing and brand recognition. So literally it was just bringing in the product, and then just using relationships to sell. But I feel I could have done a more marketing campaign to put the product out there. We're trying to do better as we scale up.
What I would do differently is I would have stepped into this space of being an artist in my own right sooner. I toured with Stevie Wonder for 7 years. I toured with Beyonce for 6 years. And while those were wonderful, great jobs, I was a support artist. And while I was with Stevie, I never released any of my own music until after I had left the band. And now I have my own band. And would this be a good time to play a little snippet of my band, of my video?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, so this is my band EnSpirits. This is a video from our tiny desk submission. We are EnSpirits, and this is our Tiny Desk submission. So that's my song, Oh. So yeah, I would have started doing that sooner because there is nothing as exciting as performing my own music for audiences. Now, I've performed in front of literally millions of people with Stevie and Beyonce. That's exciting. Trust me. Playing for in Wembley Stadium for 90,000 people, on Copacabana Beach for 800,000 people. Amazing. Nothing like it, except doing my own music, even if it's only for a few. So I wish I would have done more of that sooner, but you don't know till you know.
So once you have your brand and your elevator pitch, what's next? How do you turn your brand into action? How do you align everyone behind your vision? Well, the most important tactic and one most leaders undershoot is communication. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Communicate to excess. Remember the great leaders you thought of, the ones you admire? They spoke their mission into existence every day. Do that. And if you're living your mission, but you're not speaking it, or you're speaking it, but not living it, you're underperforming as a leader. Some leaders with perfectly fine values fail by not talking enough about what they're thinking. They imagine everyone must know, or they're tired of hearing it. I will say that if you have no indication that anyone is sick of hearing it, you are definitely under communicating, and over communicating vision is nearly impossible. That's what all the top leaders do.